Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome for another day. This place looks empty. Empty. There's two cars to my right, and then the whole field up there. There is one trailer that's parked, one van, and another trailer that's unloading. So it means on this side there's probably 6 people. I think there's spots for maybe close to 100. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not feeling the best. I don't think I'm sick. If I get sick again and I start having health issues nonstop, I'm going to go nuts. But I think the humidity is starting to get to me. It's been very humid. Yesterday was really rough. So let's see how it goes. Do you want a bag or?
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard to carry the clothes in my car.
Yeah. Well, it's a very, very slow day here. This is crazy. I'm gonna walk over here and see what this guy has. I guess that first row over there is not one single person on this side, on a close side.
I've been telling him 7 years, but for the past year, well, 2 years, it's like gone down. It's gone order. And I'm like, well, you raised Saturday to 25, and no one barely here on Saturday. Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah, I heard yesterday. I'm not feeling going back today. I'm looking for and then he's going to New Jersey. I do English.
It's a ghost town. Ain't no one up on that whole hill. Wow, that is crazy. It's probably the weakest day of the market I've seen in my life. Not even joking. On the prime day. I did sell a ton. I'm pretty much down to, like, I think garbage. I took everything that I bought yesterday at that auction. I brought it straight here. I didn't take anything out and throw it in a trash can or sort the trash out, but like I see a lot of glassware, which you see everywhere. Gloves. I did sell a bunch of gloves. Some of these are kind of dirty. Someone bought the metal detector in the basement. That went to it. Oh well. I don't think plastic forks are gonna sell. In fact, I don't think they're at all gonna sell. So I might as well just take that. I'll take out the scoop, but what are we working with? 2005 Munchkin ink. All right. Just going to be a slow day. I'm going garbage picking later on. And with all the community yard sales around here, I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of leftovers. Maybe we'll swing by there, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to stick around. No, oh, one person's asked me about the rocking chair. I said $3, and they said, maybe not. But I'll have it with furniture. That's one thing. so somebody can see it. I don't know if somebody's gonna really want this. It's a little dirty. Guy must use it for painting.
Yeah. He did. He was having some guys do it. Zero. Yeah. But he does mow it too, so I don't know.
Butter your corn. Wow.
I never heard of that, though. Clay pot peeling. Okay, yeah. That's not a clay pot, it's forest.
Yeah, what's that? $1.
That's for when you spray it on your windows with the hose.
How about this
A
one?
buck's good.
All right, I'll take one.
You want a bag or?
Yeah, one,
Always said those chemicals you find in the garage, someone always buys them. You don't get a lot for them, but it's so easy to buy the contents to the shelf for pretty much next to nothing. They always sell.
I learned to live with myself.
Yeah, it's not good.
I know. That's sure this is correct.
Oh, you can feel the engine just completely different with that AC on. I've always said AC really lugs the engine, especially on this van. It really lugs the engine. But yeah, that was the flea market for today. We'll probably find some garbage on the way home, some possible items. See what happens. It's I'm just looking around here. It's not even these. Those are not straight at all. Huh. There's no one here. This is crazy. Like, there's not really anyone walking around. Parking lot has, I won't even say a decent amount of cars. From this angle it looks like that, but it's really not at all. This is crazy. So yeah, usually tote man is set up over here on the left. There's usually people over there, and then over here where that gray SUV is, that whole area is filled, both sides. This time was not the case. Full. It is one of the wackiest days I can ever remember. Now, I say it's wacky, and I say there wasn't a lot of people here. There were still, you know, vendors that showed up. I would say between the whole market, there's maybe 50 or 60. So, on a good day, maybe 300, 400. But last night when I was packing up, it had a 30% chance of rain at 1 o'clock. And I packed up probably around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock last night. So it said 1 o'clock this afternoon it was going to probably rain. And funny thing is, when I went to bed, 9:30 or so, I looked at my phone and it had 80% chance of rain from 3 in the morning all the way till noon. So you go from 0% to 80%. I think that kind of deterred a lot of people. I don't think it was the weather. It's not really that bad. It's 72 degrees, but it's really humid. It is just amazing what happens to any sort of market if there's any issue with rain. I don't know if Lambertville's like that, but it seems like every outdoor market is like that. Or Columbus. I don't know if Columbus is like that. That place is always packed. Oh, it looks like we might have our first item of the day. Aha. If it isn't the normal capacity. Man, remember this guy used to throw away cases of these things? So I will go ahead and throw these into the van because I'm here. Now, although my schedule still calls for trash picking later, I know it is supposed to rain. I was really hoping a lot of these yard sales would have just like yard sale leftovers. Granted, do I really want to take leftovers? I don't know, because it's stuff people don't want. But I still have intentions to go out later. So these go as just light iron, if anyone's really curious. I never talked about it. I have got quite a few of people who've asked or left a comment. Oh man, I was supposed to donate these clothes while I was out. Well, might have to stay for the trash picking episode. Anyway, I've had a bunch of people ask me about all sorts of things with these metal, and you know, when you drop stuff off at the light iron pile, do you have to take apart everything else that's on it? So for this is actually aluminum. That's a motor on the inside. It would go as dirty aluminum. I do not have to do anything with this. By selling it as dirty aluminum rather than clean aluminum, I am not doing the work, but I take a sort of pay cut. And I get paid less money. So with a lot of this stuff, you don't have to take apart it. You don't take apart anything. You just get paid less money. Now for steel, the big thing there is it's kind of like a weight distribution kind of thing. So although those aren't steel, let's say you bring in a dining room chair. It might have fabric on it. Theoretically, it should be steel, but since it has, I don't know if you'd call it prepared steel. You want to call it prepared steel. Because it's light. I should think of something different. I don't know. Something else. Another chair. That still doesn't help. But if you have other components that go with it, and it's an iron-based metal, you just throw it into the light iron pile, which is essentially the cheapest paying steel. That makes sense. You don't have to take apart anything. If you do take apart things, you get more money. But if you want to not do anything, you can still recycle it. You can still scrap it, you know? You're not required to do any of that. It's just you can't bring, you know, a door that has a huge glass panel in it and just throw it in a scrap pile and expect them not to be mad, because there's a lot of glass on it. It might be 60 pounds of glass and 10 pounds of metal. They don't want that. So don't do that if you're that curious about it. Back into the dungeon. Aha, we are here. Man, this bubble wrap. Ah, man, don't even get me fired up on bubble wrap. So I brought 2 rolls today. About yay size. This size, probably a little bit bigger. These are small rolls. On camera, they might look kind of large, but these are my small rolls. That is the large roll down there, which you can see. That one's actually smaller than that one. And that one's probably smaller than that one. As always, I bring 2 rolls. And the second I put it out, they sell like that. Every time I've done it probably 4 times this year, they've sold within the first 5 minutes. And then I decide one week I want to just bring bubble wrap, and I think I sold 16 rolls for an entire like maybe 5 hours, 4 hours of being there. So it's like, how can I sell 2 rolls in a matter of 5 minutes, and I bring 16 rolls in a variety of sizes? Because the big thing with selling bubble wrap is not everyone wants the really large roll, not everyone wants the large bubbles, not everyone wants the small bubbles, not everyone can fit a large roll. Some people like to put theirs on a stick on the wall, so they want the larger one, not a smaller one, because they go through a lot. Whatever it is, it never seems to work out the way I want it to work out. It's the weirdest business, is selling this bubble wrap stuff. But I am home. It is time to now throw things in the garbage and put things into my corner for donations. I never really touched base a lot with the stuff I got yesterday. I noticed when I do auction videos, I never really go through every single box on camera. It just gets way too overwhelming, and it gets hot, especially in the summer. Here are some of the clothes that I did get. A bunch of Dickies, pants, some shorts, or maybe pants. Those are Levi's. Don't know if this one's old. It says 1987, so it's got to be somewhat old. See what kind of tag, or yeah, it's an older one. I don't know what tag that is, but I can see it's an older one. It's a Coach jacket. What I should have done is gone through this yesterday. I don't know if these are worth anything. No, I thought they were Converse laces. They're just made in USA. There were Converse sneakers there, and they sold really, really cheap. They had no tags on the inside, and I'm pretty sure they were actually good ones. And I mean, like, so cheap, I should have just bought them just because they were cheap. But I didn't know if they were actually vintage, because those vintage Converse can be worth a lot of money, and they were yellow. Decent. I should have just bought them. See, this always happens at auctions. You guys saw my auction video. I probably had half a van load. Like, to me, I would call that a full van load, but realistically, it's half of my entire van was full. So you buy all that stuff, and then there's some things that just bug you, right? So if you're not into clothes, you're probably like, why are you showing me this stuff? This is kind of cool. It's older Gap Arctic Light Fleece in yellow. I did sell, so I brought a box of clothes. Some of it were sweaters. So sweaters, like I've always said, sweaters are really difficult. High heel shoes, like that kind of stuff, very difficult stuff. Sweatshirts are good. Fleece, somewhat good. Sweaters are tough. T-shirts are good. Windbreaker jackets, meh. So this is kind of what I got. I got some also suspenders. Thought that was for being a school teacher. It has a ruler on it, no? So I should have gone through that box so I could have brought it, but I didn't. Other things I grabbed. Oddball stuff here. I did spend, I think I said $56 yesterday. I probably made my $56 back within, I don't know, 20 minutes this morning. I didn't go home with a lot. I probably came back with maybe 6 boxes worth of stuff. It's another issue I have. I have maybe 6 of these in my house, and yet I'm probably going to keep this because it's clear. If you ever had binoculars, I've had binoculars in my life that have just been like cloudy and dirty, and for some reason I kept them. Why, I don't know, but these are in good shape. I also get really sketched out with magnifying glasses. I don't know if the camera sounds muffled now because I know I'm closed. One of the microphones is covered, so I hope it doesn't, but it probably does. Other than that, I got some sorting to do in this guy. What is this? Playing cards. Something for Mazda and a presentation. I don't know if these would sell, but they might. So like I said, I do apologize when I do those auction videos. I just get very overwhelmed with the amount of work, the heat, and everything else that kind of goes into it. It's all fun and dandy to buy a lot of stuff. It's not fun and dandy to load the stuff. So taking the stuff off shelves, if you buy content, whatever it might be, hauling stuff back to your truck, if you bought a lot, all that stuff kind of just wears you down. So it's kind of difficult to kind of hold the camera at the same time. Maybe I'll just throw on my chest mount next time. That way I can kind of just like operate and not really worry about holding a camera. Because I don't think we're getting a camera crew anytime soon, as I always joke about. My dad actually had a collection of hose nozzles. That was one of his things. This one's made in Italy, so I'll have to look that one up. Onto porcelain. That's silver plate. Stainless. So there's just oddball stuff in there. I did not take this bicycle. I was going to, and then I had glass where I didn't want to break the glass. Should have brought it. Anyway, thanks for tagging along. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I know these flea market videos, I never really touch base with a lot of things. I don't really document a lot. Feels like I just talk a lot. But yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for tagging along. Thanks for tagging along for another wonderful adventure on this really weird, strange, interesting flea market day. Probably the quietest day I can remember in my entire life of selling at a flea market or shopping at a flea market. And it still hasn't started raining. So, we'll see. Thanks for tagging along, everyone. Stay tuned. Trash picking's next. Have a great day, and catch up with you guys next time for next venture. Till next time, have a great day. Keep living a dream. Peace.